Alrighty, hello everyone, Truckin' Bear here, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. As you remember, last time we left off with our Royale Crown over here, and our Mayan M3 over there, both parked up and waiting for service. But before we get started on cars today, I kind of wanted to, get out of here and take a look around. So as far as I know, actually it looks like until we level up, nothing is really available to us besides the test track and the garage and parking areas. There's no barn finds, no junkyards. The junkyard's not available. So, well, I guess we are just gonna have to see about, leveling up here. So we got our first upgrade, which is 50% faster screwing and unscrewing. Very important for me. I want to get stuff done faster so we can level up and move on to the fun stuff. So, I guess let's see what we got here today. This car, we've got the Royale Crown. The guy says, I read in a newspaper that the timing should be replaced more frequently than recommended by the manufacturer, the oil too. Please check them out and change whatever is needed. And absolutely no parts discovered. So we're going to have to figure it out as we go. But since he did say timing, I'm going to assume we're going to be starting here on the front of the engine. So we'll go ahead and start tearing down the front of this engine and see if we can get to the timing components and start tearing that all apart. See if we can find our bad parts. So, I actually had higher hopes for today's episode. I was hoping we'd get to see some of the other cool stuff that the game had to offer. Some of the junkyards, the barn finds, things like that. But obviously, we've got a little ways to go before we can do that. So, we're gonna just gonna have to grind on and see what we can do. So, as we get this thing stripped down, let's see. Get all this nonsense out of the way. Alright, get this timing belt cover out of the way now, and we should be able to see what our problem is. Alright, timing belt. Alright, and cam gear, those look pretty well toast to me. And, oh, looks like the camshafts are rusty as well, so looks like we're going to have to pull apart the ignition up here on top of the engine, pull the ignition coils out, and then in this game they call it an engine head cover. To me it's a valve cover. That's what it's always been, but engine head cover, valve cover, same thing I guess. It does the same thing, so... oh yeah, those camshafts look toasted. So we're going to pull those out of there. Alright, well that's all of our timing. Let's see, it doesn't look like there's any more timing components that look bad. So how about we back out of here. And let's see if yep, we've got everything. So 4 ignition coils, 2 cam gears, and 2 camshafts. And then our oil change. Simple enough. So we can go ahead and get this thing up in the air. Get it all the way up in the air, and while that's doing that, we will get all of our parts. So we are going to need ignition coils. So 4 of those. Oh, 4. Alright, go ahead and order those in. And then cam gears and camshafts. So we'll just put in cam, see what comes up. So on those, is it just plain cam gear and camshaft, or is it... Yeah, just plain camshaft, cam gear. Nothing special about them. No I4, I6. None of that nonsense. So 2 cam gears. Simple enough. Get those coming in. 2 camshafts. And that's the thing, when it comes to parts, you know, they have camshafts here that are specific to vehicles. For any of y'all that have done any kind of engine work, they're like, just for, let's say, a V8 overhead valve, let's say a Chevy 350, there are hundreds of different cams. So the fact that it's, you know, there's a camshaft for that particular vehicle, it's a little odd. It's a little strange to me. I'm used to having lots of parts to mess with, lots of things to change on a vehicle, but you know, it could be worse. You know, again, it's at least a part we can change. So, all right, then while we're under here, we're gonna need. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna need an oil filter. That would also be a thing we'd need. So, oil filter for an inline 4. We'll go ahead and order one of those as well on the computer, which apparently, if I'm looking at it correctly, hasn't been updated since '95. It's a very old computer, but you know, in a shop, that's all you need sometimes. You know, access to the internet, order your parts, you know, and you know, be able to look up your tech manuals for your vehicles. You know, that's all you really need. You know, just base functionality, and you're good. So you get a part mount, and I apparently had an oil filter somewhere. Fair enough. Alright, oil filter's in. We will go ahead and lower our car down and start putting all of our parts in. So, I will say the Rose menu here that you access, for those of y'all who haven't played yet, to access this Rose menu is a left click, and it's a rather strange way, from what I've heard other people say, to access that Rose menu, or to access the different what's the word I'm looking for? The different assembly and disassembly modes. You know, in 2015 apparently it was hotkeyed, but I don't mind the Rose menu per se. It is a little cumbersome at times because you don't. It's a little counterintuitive to use the Rose menu to open certain things, but then use Escape to close out of them. But you know, it could be worse. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff put back on. Cam gears, cam shafts. Got our timing belt back in. Timing belt, check. Timing cover. Alright, so I apologize now, this is kind of a boring episode. I was really hoping to have more we would do, but looks like we're just going to be a Let's Play today, so yeah, that's where we stand. So, anyway, how's everybody's week going? Anybody have anything interesting going on in the comments? You know, let me know below. My week's going alright, you know. I've been working on my big truck outside of playing games. You know, I've got a Freightliner that I own, I drive for work. I spend a lot of time on the road. I got some work going on with that while I'm off the road right now. And so work on that during the day. Night, I take time to play games for you guys. Show you what we got going on in all the different simulator games, as well as all kinds of other stuff. I recently picked up a copy of the Hunter Call of the Wild. I'm hoping to bring that to the channel here soon. I think that would be a fun one to do. I've got a friend that I play with, multiplayer style, and we do a little collaboration on that. I think y'all would, hopefully at least, enjoy seeing some of that. You know, let me know down in the comments, what do you think? If you want to see some Hunter Call of the Wild, or if you have any other game suggestions, you know, throw those in the comments below as well. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear what you want to see. Let's see, what do we got here? Check the dipstick. Plenty of good oil. Excellent. So this should be all complete. All right, $2,205 payout. Not a bad deal. All right, I'm gonna scoot over to this thing, and move it over onto the left. See what's wrong with it. We have brakes. Always with brakes. I tell you, you know, you would think apparently people just drive around in this game with their brakes, you know, 2 foot in it, 1 foot on the brakes, 1 foot on the gas, you know. Apparently that's the way they drive around in the car mechanic simulator world, because there's a lot of brake problems on these vehicles, let me tell you. So many brake problems. So we'll go ahead and get these wheels yanked off. Let's see what we've got here. That does look pretty toasted. Alright, brake disc ventilated, check. Alright, hopefully, let's see, we'll go ahead and pull this tire off. What do we got under here? Ooh, this one's even worse. That's pretty bad. That's really rusty. So I might be wrong. It might have been, it might be this side that's bad. Let's see. If we go to our inventory, stuff we just pulled off this car, we have, well, the brake pads are good, so that means we need to replace the rear brake pads most likely. So we're going to go ahead and get the back wheels off and check out what we got going here. Let's see. Brake pads off, and man, even the brake disc looks terrible. I don't know if we need to do it, but it looks absolutely terrible. If we go to inventory, apparently it is at 53%, but there's one of the bad sets of brake pads. So I'm assuming on the other side, right here, is where we will find the last bad set of brake pads. We'll be able to replace them and get this guy going again. Get him out the door. Get us another job in the shop. Alright, so we need... that would not be what I want. I need in here. Car status. Brake disc ventilated, 2 sets of brake pads. I really ought to be buying the parts before I start tearing it apart. That way I can just pull it off and put it all back together. So if we type in brake, we have 1 ventilated brake disc, check, and 2 sets of brake pads. Now all we've got to do is go back over here, start on this side, part and mount, and oh, that is a pretty brake rotor right there. Very clean, nice and shiny. Man, nothing like good clean parts on a car. Absolutely nothing like it. I absolutely love it. I believe I told y'all last time I got a 80s model Chevy pickup in my driveway. And I've got a couple of Chevy 350 motors torn apart in the garage. It's a restoration project I got going on, and well, let me tell you, it is pretty rough. Pretty rough. Almost every single body panel on that thing has dents in it. It is beat up, let me tell you. It is really beat up. And I'm not quite sure what the previous owner did to it, because it's got damage on the roof, damage on the fenders, damage everywhere. And I just don't get it. I don't understand how you can damage a truck that bad unless you drop a shed on it, or maybe another vehicle. I don't know how you mess up a vehicle that bad. Man, that rotor looks terrible. But I guess if they say it's okay, it must be okay. Yes, we'll go ahead and install this. Get this sucker on there, and then wheel and tire. Get that done. I gotta say, the controls do become a little bit more intuitive the more you use them. They're not that bad. Takes a minute, but you get them done pretty quick. I'm assuming, you know, like most games, just muscle memory. You know, you give it a little time, and you'll start remembering where everything is and how it works. You'll have to think about it less and less. All right. Well, if we look, everything is done. Now, can we finish the order with this thing up on? Yeah, okay. And it puts lift down for us. Even better. Alright, so what do we got for orders? Oh, boy. Alright. Hey, I'm Roadmaster 1234. That is a very creative name there. That's what they call me on the... Oh, okay, so it's a very creative username from the internet. I'm a master behind the steering wheel in games, but now I bought a real machine, and I'll show those unbelievers what I can do on the real road. So please do something with these rims because they slow me down. And I think something is not right with the engine. It's making a strange banging noise. Take care. Do we really want to mess with... Well, I guess I bet it pays good. So we'll go ahead and pull it in here, but... So you are going to be a new master of the road in a Royale Bianco. Alright then, if you say so, buddy. I mean, you're saying the wheels are slowing you down, so obviously you have no idea how to drive in real life. But sure, we'll do it, you know. I believe the customer is always right, even if they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. So I'm going to assume a lot of our problems are coming from these horribly rusty parts on this engine. So that would be my first guess. So we'll go ahead and get those rusty parts out of the way. And you know what, while we're in here, let's go to examine mode. And instead of... well, there's not much I can examine from in here, huh? Let's see. Alright, well, let's see if that tells us anything about what we need. Alright, our serpentine belts, A and B. Idler roller A, belt tensioner. Alright, engine is making a strange banging noise. That would really worry me, so I'm thinking either something in the valve train, possibly, or... Unfortunately, if I have to say this out loud, I'm not really very happy about it, but maybe something in the rotating assembly, the lower part of the engine, where the crankshaft and the pistons all are. That could be a possibility. It wouldn't be a very fun possibility, but if it's something that needs doing, we're going to have to do it. So let's get this off. And, well, I'm not seeing anything up top that that screams issues. Let's see. Oh, well, no, and, okay, so if something's wrong with the wheels, 4 things will be the wheels, so that's probably the wheels. So what is going to be the last one? Can't see a blasted thing on this thing. Pull all this nonsense out of the way. Pull the radio away. Let's see what we can see. I can't see through a tire. I'm not seeing much from here. But, you know, we'll go ahead and put it up in the air because we've got to replace the wheels anyway. So we'll replace those wheels, get those off, and while we're at it, we will look underneath this engine, see if we can't find something in here. I really don't want to have to pull apart the bottom of this engine. let's get these wheels out of the way. And make sure these are actually what I'm looking for on our list. Alright, so if we look, yeah, Rim Classic, and oh, okay, it's radiator fan housing fan. Oh, okay, so I guess when I pulled the radiator, that is what did that. Well, that's good. That's one less thing. So the radiator fan housing fan. What in the world does that even mean? Because that is not a part I'm familiar with as a mechanic. Let's see. Go ahead and get this last wheel off and out of the way. Alright, so I'm assuming that if we are going to be replacing the wheels, I'm wondering if we're replacing wheel and tire or just wheel. Let's go ahead and separate one. And, oh yeah, so the wheel is definitely bad. The tires are good. So we'll separate that. Go ahead and pop those tires off. I'll tell you, it's going to be just like when I was in a shop. I'm absolutely going to hate changing tires in a game just as much as I do in real life. Because in real life, it is an absolute pain doing tires. It's going to be just as bad here. It's time consuming and tedious and just no fun. Alright, go ahead and separate this one. Let it down. Alright, get this completely torn down. Now, I am under the impression from here that since he wants the wheels replaced, we're going to have to replace those wheels with the same wheels as what he had on there. So I should be able, let's go, if we go here, car status, Rim Classic 06, 4 of those, Serpentine Belt A, Serp Belt B, Idler Roller A, Belt Tensioner, Radiator Fan, what even is a radiator fan housing fan? Okay, so it's the fan. So you could just say radiator fan. Housing fan is not even a thing. Okay, I see what they did. They literally just took the radiator fan housing, and then that is the fan that goes in the radiator fan housing. Wow, that's a little bit much. So what do I need again? Let's see. You know, and I've heard there's a parts list function. So Rim Classic 06, Serpentine Belt A, Idler Roller A, Belt Tensioner, radiator fan housing fan. Okay. Now the question being is radiator fan housing fan. Alright, one of those. Serpentine Belt A and Serpentine Belt B. There it is. Go ahead and buy that. And then what else is bad? Idler Roller A, Belt Tensioner. Now I really need to remember to go in and sell all the old parts I have, try to make a little bit of money off of those and free up my inventory. That should be all of those parts. Now we need wheels, and those were rims. Classic 06. I'm assuming we're supposed to... Ooh. Let's see. I'm assuming there's options on these then. So we have Classic 17-inch ET0. And is that the way all these are? Yeah, ET0, ET0, 17. Okay. So we need a 17-inch ET0. Which I'm not sure what they're talking about with ET. I mean, I could see maybe the offset, but I don't know why you would put it as the ET. I don't know what that stands for in this game. We shall see. If anybody out there knows, post it in the comments. Let me know what ET stands for in the wheels and on this game. What that means. Because I'm gonna assume it is not Eastern Time. So, let's go ahead and install some parts. A Rim Classic, a Standard Tire B. Go ahead and put those together. And this is going to take a while. So how about this? I am going to do these tires real quick. I'll come back as soon as I've got them assembled and bounced and all that. Alright, so this is our last wheel balanced. We'll take that. And we should, let me double check this. That should be the last one. Yes. That is our last wheel, balanced and ready to go. So we will go ahead and get these wheels put on. Get them bolted onto the car. Slide over to this side. That's the one thing I've seen. I started paying attention a little bit better when I've been watching videos on YouTube. A lot of the guys have been playing it, and I didn't realize, you know, I kind of knew that you could do the shimmying around under the car, and but I always forget to do it. You know, I think I did a little bit in episode 1, and I'm trying to remember to make it a little bit faster getting around this car, getting stuff put in. But I don't know, it sometimes seems like it might be a little faster just to, you know, leave the install mode and swing around to the other side of the car. I'm not real sure which is faster. But, oh wow, and it puts us back over here. Okay, cool. So, we'll go ahead and drop our car back down. Check our engine, real close to the engine, and we are going to go to park mount mode and get this thing back together. Which, it's kind of unfortunate that I had pulled the top of this engine apart. Didn't have to do that. Which, there's worse things to do, you know. I've done worse things in my lifetime when it comes to tearing apart cars and, you know, not needing to. But, we'll go ahead and get everything slapped back together here. Get all these parts in place. And we should be almost good to go. Let's see. All we're missing in here, if I could see the part... idler down here. That's where it went. Idler roller A, serpentine belt B, serpentine belt A, and our belt tensioner. Go ahead and bolt that down, and I believe, if I remember correctly, that is everything. So we'll back out of here. Open up our status report, and everything is fixed. So hopefully, well, unfortunately we're sending Roadmaster 1, 2, 3, 4 out on the road in this thing. I advise all of you, if you see a blue Royale Bianco, drive in the other direction, especially if it has a young, apparently Very talented video game driver behind the wheel. Run, run far away. So I've noticed up here at the top right of the screen, it shows your money. It shows how many orders you have waiting over here. Apparently I have 4, as we can see there. It shows your XP level, which hopefully will level up. Then it shows, I'm guessing it's a level or a skill point type thing. I'm not really sure. Probably should do some checking into that. But we do have another skill point. So our options are faster part examination, 50% faster part installing or removing. That would be nice. That'd be good. 10% faster walking. Don't know if we really need to speed walk around the shop, but we also have 5% discount in shops. So a discount on our parts. Well, we'd make more money with that, but this will make it faster to do our job. Let's go with the money. I like money. I'm assuming all of you guys out there, you like money. It's part of everything we do. And before I forget, before we end this episode, I am going to clean out some of this junk that I have stacked up in my inventory. That's a basically brand new air or oil filter. Oh, that's probably annoying as all hell, but alright, so we've got basically a brand new oil filter. Our inventory is good there, so let's see. I think to spare you guys from watching me do all of these different jobs in the next episode, I'm going to do some grinding outside of the videos and get these things rocking and rolling, so y'all don't have to watch every single thing. Unless, you know, if you say otherwise, if you want to see some more of the plain workings in the garage, you know, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do so. I've got to do it anyway to get to the fun stuff. If you want me to record it, I will. But for now, I think we are going to call it a good day here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you liked it, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button below. Send me some more suggestions. Shoot me comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. And I will see you in the next episode.